Well, hello, it is Sunday and I have just completed my first proper week of marathon training, 50 plus miles, and I thought it would be great to give you a bit of a heads up on everything that I've done this week. And for those of you who love data and love running information, this is the video for you. Welcome to PKS Runs. Well, welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Paul and I am a sub 3-hour marathoner. Only just. I've got one sub 3-hour marathon under my belt, 2:59 at Manchester last year. It was good enough to get me a qualifying place at the London Marathon this year, which unfortunately I didn't get to run because I got a stress fracture on my foot. So I am now a man on a mission. I am desperately trying to get my fitness back and get myself another good for age qualifying time for London 2025. And in this video I just thought I would share my training week with you, let you know what I've done, how I'm feeling, the progress that I've made, and I'm going to try and do this every week so that you can track my journey. For those of you who love the data, who love the running side of the channel, these videos are gonna be for you. So let's start at the very beginning. My training week starts on a Monday and it runs through until Sunday. Seems like the logical way to do it. So Monday mornings, I do the same routine. Every week I'm part of a great gym that does structured group workouts. I was doing trap bar deadlifts, inverted pull-ups, tricep dips, barbell hip thrusts, kettlebell swings, sumo deadlifts, and sled rope pulls. As you can see, that is a serious full body workout. 45 minutes, in, out, done and dusted. No need to spend any more time doing that. I go to the gym 3 mornings a week, so that is just morning one. Monday morning also included a 3-mile dog walk, just to, well, got a dog and she needs to be walked, and it's a great way of doing some non-intense exercise. So that was Monday. On to Tuesday. Tuesday started again with a dog walk, 3 miles, just to get some steps in, enjoy a bit of time by myself with Coco. Really great mental space, if I'm honest. Just time to think, time to process. Often listen to a podcast, either something like Diary of a CEO or one of the politics podcasts that I listen to. Sometimes I just listen to nothing, but I put my headphones in as a way of saying to people, don't talk to me, I'm not interested in chatting. At lunchtime, I got out for a run, and this was my first run of the week, 7.56 miles around the lanes. Moving time was 1 hour and 2 minutes. Average pace 8 minutes 13, but that doesn't tell the whole story of the run. I actually had a couple of slower miles, but most of my miles were under 8-minute miles. So I think my fastest mile was 7 minutes 20. My slowest mile was 8 minutes 58. So you can see quite a range. And I'm not following a plan, so it's worth saying I'm not going out there and saying I've got to run this pace for this amount of time, or I'm going to run that pace for that amount of time. I really just see how I feel on the day, and I pay quite a bit of attention to my heart rate. So let's have a look at the heart rate data there. My average heart rate was, can't find it, jeepers. Okay, well anyway, doesn't matter. The heart rate was what it was. That was Tuesday's runs. It was lovely, it was hot, it was very sunny. My favourite, absolute favourite. I think I even got my top. So I would just say at this point, if you're enjoying this content, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. I'd love to know how do your training weeks look? I'd love to, always up for learning, always up for seeing what other people are doing. So please do like, subscribe, leave me a comment. It really does encourage me, because I am just a normal guy who is trying to do a YouTube channel whilst being a dad and all of that. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, hit the bell, and yeah, follow me on Strava, follow me on Instagram, and let's carry on with the video. So on to Wednesday, and Wednesday morning always starts again 6:30 a.m. at Watergate Studios in the gym. I did barbell squats, reverse flies, Romanian deadlifts, alternating dumbbell snatches, bent over rows, devil press, and dead bugs. An absolute killer. Wednesday morning is brutal. Anyway, that was a 47-minute workout in all, and yeah, one for the ages. Really, really good. I mean, I just love it. It's exhausting, but I love it. Then at lunchtime, I got myself out for a walk. I had to go and get some blood tests done at the doctor's, and I didn't have a car, so I had to walk there. That was about 1.7 miles. And then I thought, well, I may as well go dressed in my running gear. One, kind of to make it look, like I'm an athlete. And two, because then I could do a run from the doctor's to home. So I did another 7.35 miles at a pace of 9:37 a mile. And I'm gonna be honest, I was absolutely goosed. Just nothing was working. Everything felt tired. Everything felt hard work. The morning session at the gym was a toughie. And yeah, I didn't have very much in me. Was I bothered about that? Did I try and bust a gut or force anything that wasn't going to happen? No, not at all. I kept my heart rate low. I just enjoyed being out and got the run done. 9:37 average pace per mile. Looking at the data here, my fastest mile was 9:09. My slowest mile was 9:38. So not a massive range there, but as you can see, just quite a different set of numbers from just 24 hours earlier. And I do find that is what happens. Some days you feel good, some days you don't. You roll with it, doesn't matter. And in the evening, got out with Laura for another dog walk, another 2.7 miles. So more steps, more activity, just keeping the body moving, keeping exercise going. Thursday did not go to plan. And a previous version of me would have been so stressed out by that. I have really learned over the last few months to just chill the fuck out and take the highs and take the lows. Thursday ended up just being really busy with work, and I didn't get out for a run. I didn't get out for my morning walk. Just one of those days. I did get out in the evening, did another 3.5 miles or so with Laura, and that was all the exercise I did. So didn't get my steps in, didn't get my exercise block in, and it's okay. I was still alive the following day. The world was still turning. Would I have loved to have run? Absolutely. I've been desperately trying to get my mileage back up to 50 miles a week, and missing days compounds that, makes it much harder. So would I have been better running that day than not running? Absolutely. Is it going to make a difference in the grand scheme of things? No, not at all. So putting Thursday behind me, I was up again on Friday morning to get myself to the gym for my third gym session of the week. So barbell cleans, hate them. Clean and press, actually, really hate them. You have a choice of doing them or the clean and jerks. I literally do not see the point of the clean and jerk, so I do the clean and press. But anyway, I really freaking hate it. Can't tell you how much. Then we were doing bench presses, because gotta get this. I gotta get that chest looking good. Bulgarian split squats, goblet squats, shoulder press really hard. Shoulders are killing by that point in the workout. Walking lunges, 20 meters at a time, and then planks. So big session, again, just tiring. And Friday was another one of those days that it was a real slog to try and find the time to get out. I didn't get out for my morning walk, had to crack straight into work. In the end, I decided to do what all good parents do, and that is order Domino's takeout for dinner for the girls so that I could take Coco out for a run. So they had Domino's, I took Coco out onto the trails, and we spent 55 minutes of pure bliss up on the Quantox. Just nobody around. 55 minutes of running, only 5.43 miles, average pace 10:09. This was not about pace. This was about enjoyment. This was about just getting some clarity, some fresh air at the end of a really, really busy week. This was therapy, if I'm honest. It was just all about just getting out there and having fun. What we did is on the little hill sections, we just went all out and sprinted them for 10 seconds tops, really. I'll be honest, it wasn't like doing great big sprints. They were every 3, 4, 5 minutes. So just testing the lungs, testing the legs, but generally keeping it super, super slow. My average pace, as I said, was in the 10 minutes. My slowest mile was 10:42. My fastest mile was 9:37. But it's on the trails, it's up and down hills, so you're not thinking about pace or anything like that. You're just thinking about having fun, enjoying nature, and enjoying just the fresh air at the end of a busy week. So that was Friday, and this is where it all gets interesting. Friday night we went out for the most incredible meal. Friar Tuck's in Bridgewater. Honestly, it's the sort of thing that you'd expect to find in Bristol or Bath or London. With the exception of Nando's, food options are not good here. But Friar Tuck's, some incredible fried goujons. I had 6, probably too many, 3 would have been fine. Asian slaw, chips. Hopefully I can get a picture up on the screen, but it was absolutely delicious. Perfect way to finish the work week. So then Saturday, wow, this was a toughie. Got out for 13 miles and made the decision in the morning that I wanted to do a fasted run. Every once in a while I like to do a fasted run. In fact, I always used to do fasted runs. I used to run first thing in the morning. I never had breakfast before, and for years and years I did this. These days, honestly, I'm just too tired to get up too early. I know that David Goggins and all of that kind of crowd would go, hey, just toughen the fuck up, man. Just get out of bed at 4 a.m. and do your run. I'm not that guy anymore. Maybe I will be at some point. But anyway, I decided to do a fasted run. Slept like an absolute log overnight. 11 hours continuous. I mean, the dream. Didn't wake up until like 10:45. Didn't have any lunch. And then shortly after, when it would have been lunchtime, I got out for 13 miles. And oh my word, it was a absolute slogfest. My first mile was 10 minutes 43. Oh my goodness, I just thought, do you know what, this is pointless. There is no point in continuing. The second mile, 9:43, got slightly faster, 9:36. And it was at this point that I realised that this was a mental battle. My legs were tired, yes. My legs were feeling drained, yes, because I hadn't had any fuel in the morning. I'd had a couple of cups of tea and a glass of water, but that was it. But I really believe that running is as much mental as it is physical. And so on this run, I just decided, right, I've just got to keep pushing. I've just got to keep going that extra mile. And I managed to keep going. I got to 6 miles and was feeling, pretty crap. And basically I took myself as far away as I could so that I knew that, well, I had to run back. And so there was no way that I could get out. Honestly, I got the timings slightly wrong and I got the distances slightly wrong. I never planned my runs, so I ended up having to do some loops around Bridgewater to try and get it to 13 miles. But the positive thing is that from mile 8, I was able to kind of really dig deep and increase my pace. Now, I'm not talking about anything fast. I'm not talking kind of 6-minute miles, 7-minute miles. I got mile 10 down to 9 minutes 35. Mile 11, 8:43, and 12, 8:24. And honestly, I felt like I was sprinting. My legs were goosed. I was just tired, but I got it done. Then I just spent the rest of the day just chilling out. Got out for an evening walk. We did a 3-mile walk in the evening with Laura and ate plenty, refueled my body, got all of those calories on board that I didn't have in the morning, which I absolutely loved. I do love eating. Sunday, the final day of my training week, and at this point in the week I was at 33 miles and I really wanted to get up and above 50 miles this week. So I had a really hearty breakfast. I had some nice protein pancakes, an absolute ton of fruit, and a pre-workout. I put a couple of energy gels in my belt, and I set off for a 13-ish mile run, and it felt good. It really did feel good. My first mile was 8:42, so really conservative start, and that increased over the following miles to 8:05, 8:11, 7:53, 7:31, 7:37, 7:33, 7:38, 7:26, 7:29, 6:54 mile 11, 7:27 on mile 12, 7:38 mile 13, 7:19 mile 14, and 7:29 for mile 15. So absolutely went after it. Wasn't full speed by any means, not as fast as my run last Saturday, but really, really great signs. I wasn't in the carbons. I was in my Night Pegasus Turbo Next Nature. Honestly, they're old. I need some new running shoes. But anyway, really, really positive. I just was able to get in the zone and go for it. Average pace 7:39. Did the 15 miles in an hour and 55. But the story doesn't end there, because at the end of that run, I then had 5 miles to get home. So got 20 miles done this morning, and I'm so thrilled with that. A lot slower pace on this final run, 9:06 per mile. There was absolutely no need to go any faster than that. I had taken on board 2 energy gels during the 15 mile. I didn't have any fluids with me, so I wasn't dehydrated, but I was definitely thirsty. I think that wasn't a great move, but I didn't really want to carry fluid around with me, and couldn't really be bothered to stop and buy a drink either. But anyway, got home, got in the ice bath, and feels good. So that means that this week I have beaten my 50-mile target, and I think there's some really, really positive signs that I am in a good place to really start working hard. It's not been the most exciting, it's not been my biggest mileage week, it's not been the most structured week, but it's been a good week, and it feels good to have made some progress. I would just say, look, if you enjoy this content, please do like and subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified. I'm going to try and do these reviews once a week, because it's a good log for me as much as anything, like a captain's log. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have got another week of training. It all starts again tomorrow morning in the gym, and a dog walk. But for now, thank you so much for watching. This is PKS Runs. I'll see you in the next video.